Have you ever met a woman? Had the perfect chance to connect, but somehow it just didn't click? Maybe you told a joke and she smiled politely, but looked away.
Maybe you complimented her.
But she just said, "Thanks," and turned the conversation elsewhere. And you're left thinking, what did I do wrong? Here's the truth. Attraction isn't built by looks, money, or slick pickup lines. It's built by emotional impact. And today I'm going to show you exactly what to say. Yes, a real phrase that makes a woman feel something she can't resist. In fact, I'll give you 7 things you can do and say that, when used with honesty, will make you unforgettable to almost any woman you meet. This is not a trick. It's not manipulation. It's about connection, confidence, and emotional leadership. So hit that like button, subscribe if you're serious about changing your love life, and watch all the way till the end, because this one shift could change how women see you forever. Let me start with a quick story. Jordan was your average guy. Not a player, not rich, not especially outgoing. A little quiet, worked in tech, good heart, but struggled with women. He'd try his best on dates. Dress well, be polite, ask questions. Still, things would fizzle out. Women would say, "You're nice, but I don't feel that spark." One Friday night, he went to a rooftop bar with friends. Nothing fancy. He was wearing a hoodie, didn't expect to meet anyone. Then he saw her, Amara. Confident posture, gorgeous smile, talking to friends, holding her drink like she belonged there. Jordan froze. She's way out of my league, he thought. But something in him said, just be real. Say the truth. So he walked over, no pickup line, no cool guy act. Just looked at her and said, "I don't have a clever line. I just saw you and knew I'd regret it if I didn't say hi." She laughed, not the fake kind, the warm, genuine kind. They talked for 3 hours that night. Now here's the point. Jordan didn't say something smooth. He said something honest. That's what worked. Let's break down why and how you can do the same. Number 1, speak with emotional honesty. Let's be real for a second. Most guys out there are trying way too hard to say the right thing. They rehearse lines in their head like they're auditioning for a movie. They try to sound cool, clever, funny, whatever they think will make her say, "Wow, he's impressive." But here's the thing. The most irresistible thing you can say to a woman isn't smooth. It's not even witty. It's honest. Emotional honesty is magnetic. Why? Because it's rare. Let me ask you this. When's the last time you met someone and you could just drop the act? No filter, no pretending, just you being you. Now imagine someone makes you feel that way, and then they say it out loud. That's what this line does. Being around you makes me feel like I can just be myself. And that's rare. It's not just a compliment, it's a mirror. You're showing her that she's created a space where you feel safe, where the masks fall off. And trust me, every woman wants to be that person. Why? Because most women are used to men trying to impress them, not connect with them. She's used to hearing, "You're beautiful," or "You're hot," or "I bet you get hit on all the time." She's not used to hearing something vulnerable, something that makes you feel exposed, and that's exactly why it works. Let me paint the picture for you. You're on a date. It's going well. You've shared a few laughs, the chemistry is there, and there's that quiet moment between topics. Instead of reaching for a joke or checking your phone, you look at her and say it. "I gotta say, there's something about you. I don't feel like I have to perform or pretend. I feel like I can just be me." And that doesn't happen a lot. Boom. That's not just a compliment. That's intimacy, and it hits her in a place most men never touch. Now be careful here. This only works if you mean it. Don't fake emotional honesty. Don't say it because you think it'll get you somewhere. Say it because it's true, because in that moment, she really does make you feel that way. And if she doesn't, don't say it. But when she does, don't hold back. That level of truth is what makes a woman lower her guard, soften her defenses and say, "Wait, who is this guy?" You become memorable. You become different. Not because you said something brilliant, but because you said something real. That's what emotional honesty is. Real words, spoken in a real moment, to create real connection. So don't chase being impressive. Chase being authentic, because no woman forgets the man who made her feel like she mattered enough to tell the truth. Number 2, be genuinely curious about her. Let me tell you something that'll change the way you connect with women forever. Most guys don't actually see women. They look, but they don't see. They talk, but they don't listen. And that's exactly why so many of them get stuck in the friend zone or ghosted after the first date. Here's the truth most men miss. If you want a woman to feel something real with you, make her feel understood. That doesn't mean you agree with everything she says. It doesn't mean you memorize her favorite color or remember her coffee order. It means you care about what moves her, what shaped her, what keeps her up at night or lights her up inside. You do that by being genuinely curious. Now, I'm not talking about the typical robotic first date questions. You know the ones. So what do you do? Where are you from? How many siblings do you have? These are fine, but they won't make her feel anything. They don't make her heart race. They don't make her eyes sparkle. You want to stand out? Ask her something real, like, what's something you've always wanted to do but never told anyone? When was the last time you felt totally free? What's one thing that made you the woman you are today? When you ask questions like that, she'll pause, not because she's uncomfortable, but because she's not used to it. You've just taken her out of autopilot, and that's when the magic happens. Let me give you an example. My friend Damien met a woman at a dinner party. She was stunning, smart, successful, seemed a little guarded. Every guy was trying to impress her, bragging about work, cracking jokes, telling stories to get attention. Damien did something different. He asked her, "What's a memory that makes you smile every single time you think of it?" She blinked. And then she smiled. A real one. And just like that, she told him about her grandmother, how they used to dance in the kitchen to old jazz records, how even now, when she hears Ella Fitzgerald, she tears up. That was it. One question. And he wasn't just a guy at a party. He was someone who made her feel something, who made her remember something beautiful and personal. That's the power of curiosity. Real, present, felt curiosity. And here's the secret, you can't fake it. You have to actually want to know her. Not just who she is on paper, but who she is when no one's watching. What she cares about, what scares her, what gives her hope. So next time you're with a woman, stop trying to impress. Instead, get interested, ask something no one else has, and then listen. Because when a woman feels seen, truly seen, she doesn't forget it, and she won't forget you. Number 3, give compliments that go beyond looks. Let's talk about compliments. Now, you probably already know women like to be complimented, but here's what most men don't understand. It's not the compliment that matters. It's what you notice. Let me explain. If you tell a woman, "You're beautiful," it's not that she doesn't appreciate it, but she's probably heard it 1,000 times, maybe more. In fact, some women hear it so often it barely registers anymore. And that's not because they're arrogant. It's because those compliments are lazy. They're safe, easy, surface level. But if you want to say something that makes her heart skip a beat, you've got to go deeper. You've got to notice the things no one else does. Let me paint a picture for you. You're talking to a woman. Maybe it's a friend, maybe someone you just met. She's smiling, telling a story, kind of animated, and you notice something. She listens closely. She makes eye contact when you speak. She doesn't interrupt, she makes space for others. There's something calm and grounding about her. Most guys would say, "You have pretty eyes." But you say, "You know, there's something peaceful about the way you show up. Like you make the people around you feel calm." That's rare. And just like that, you're different. You're not complimenting her looks, you're complimenting her presence, her energy, her essence. That hits different. It tells her, "You see who I really am, not just what I look like." Let me tell you a quick story. My friend Mateo once went on a date with a woman who was clearly used to attention. She was beautiful, model level. But halfway through the night, she looked at him and said, "You haven't said anything about how I look. Why not?" Mateo smiled and said, "Because the way you talk about your little brother, the softness in your voice, that's the most beautiful thing I've seen all night." She went silent. Then she smiled, and then she leaned in. Because in that moment, he didn't just see her as hot. He saw her as a human, a sister, a protector, a woman with depth. And that compliment, it cut through all the noise. Now, I'm not saying you can't ever say a woman's beautiful. You can and should when it's genuine. But if that's all you ever say, you're just another voice in the crowd. Want to stand out? Notice her courage, her humor, her softness, her curiosity, her resilience, the way she lights up when she talks about something she loves, the way she holds space for others. Compliment the soul, not just the shell. Because a woman never forgets the man who made her feel beautiful. Not for how she looks, but for who she is. Number 4. Use the power of the pause. Let me ask you something. When was the last time someone looked at you and just paused? Not in an awkward way. Not like they forgot what they were going to say, but in a way that made you feel seen, held, important. See, most people are afraid of silence, especially in conversation. We rush to fill the space to avoid the discomfort. We talk fast, crack jokes, jump from topic to topic, trying to keep things lively. But here's the thing. Silence isn't empty. It's powerful. When used right, it speaks volumes. And when you're with a woman, knowing when to pause, how to hold that beat, that space, it creates something electric. Because here's what she's used to. Guys rushing to impress her, talking over her, filling every second of silence because they think if there's a lull, they've lost her interest. But you're not afraid to pause, to let your words land, to hold eye contact, to let a moment breathe. That shows confidence. That shows presence. That shows you're not trying to escape the moment. You're owning it. Let me tell you a quick story. A woman I once dated told me something I've never forgotten. She said, "You know what struck me about you? You didn't try to fix the silence. You just let it be." And that made me feel safe. She went on to explain how exhausting it was always performing for men, laughing at jokes, pretending to be engaged while their minds were somewhere else. But when a man slowed down and just stayed in the moment, it made her feel something she rarely felt, calm and connected. That's what the pause does. Let's say you're having a deep conversation. She tells you something vulnerable, maybe about her past, a fear, a hope she's never spoken out loud. Most guys would scramble to respond, "Oh wow, that's crazy," or "Yeah, totally. I know what you mean." But you pause. You let her words hang in the air. You feel them. You let her know, not just with words, but with presence, that what she just said mattered. Maybe you look her in the eyes and you say, "Thank you for sharing that." Or maybe you just nod gently and hold the silence for a second longer than most would. That silence, that pause, that's where trust lives. That's where intimacy grows. And yes, it works in flirtation too. Try this. Next time she says something funny or sarcastic, instead of firing back instantly, pause. Let your eyes lock on hers. Let the smile play on your lips just a second longer. The moment will feel charged, alive, because she'll feel your focus, your intention. And trust me, no woman can resist a man who makes her feel like the only person in the room, without saying a word. Number 5, let her catch you looking the right way. Let's talk about something that seems simple, but is insanely powerful when done right. The way you look at a woman. Now I know what you're thinking. What's the big deal? Everyone looks. But here's the truth. Most guys either stare in a way that makes women uncomfortable, or they avoid eye contact altogether because they're nervous. But there's a middle ground. A place where your gaze isn't about taking something from her. It's about offering something. Your attention, your admiration, your presence. Letting her catch you looking in the right way can be absolutely magnetic. Let me explain. There's a difference between looking at a woman like she's a piece of meat and looking at her like she's art. When your gaze says, "I see you," not just how you look, but the way you move, the way you light up when you talk about something that matters to you, that's when she feels it. That's when she blushes, smiles, looks down for a second, and then looks back. Let me tell you a story. A buddy of mine, super grounded guy, not flashy, was sitting at a cafe reading. A woman walked in, ordered her coffee, and sat 2 tables over. He looked up for just a second, and their eyes met. But he didn't look away like most people do. He didn't give her some cheesy wink, he just held her gaze, soft, curious, present. Then he smiled. Not a grin, just a small, warm, honest smile. And you know what happened? She smiled back. Then 5 minutes later, she started the conversation. Why? Because she felt seen, not judged. Admired, not hunted. That's the secret. It's not just the look, it's what's behind it. If you're looking at her thinking, "I want her so bad," she'll feel it and it'll make her pull away. But if you're looking at her thinking, "Wow, there's something about her energy that's beautiful," she'll feel that too. And that draws her in. Here's a small move you can try. Next time you're talking to a woman, whether it's a friend, a date, or even someone new, take a moment in the middle of the conversation to just pause and look at her. Not because she said something wild. Not because you're trying to figure out what to say next. Just to admire her. The way she laughs. The way she expresses herself. Then, if the moment feels right, say something simple like, "You're really something, you know that?" You don't have to explain. You don't have to make it a big deal. Just let your eyes, your tone, and your silence carry the meaning. She'll feel it. In her chest. In her gut. Because women don't want to be stared at. They want to be seen. So let her catch you looking. But let her catch you looking with intention, with presence, with warmth. That's not just attractive. That's unforgettable. If you got value from this, hit that like button. It helps the channel more than you know. Subscribe for more real talk on dating, confidence, and human connection. And drop a comment. What's something someone once said to you that you never forgot? I want to hear your stories. And remember, speak truthfully. Stay grounded. Lead with heart. With that said, thanks for watching. And until next time.